From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, December 12th, 2022. We'll start off looking at temperatures across the prairie, and we're starting to see some of those colder temps be tugged down from the north once again. It's going to take a few days, but we are certainly trending back toward a bitterly cold pattern across Western Canada as we head into the end of December. Bitterly cold and some chances for some snow across the prairie here. We've got light snow falling from Medicine Hat up to Saskatoon, maybe some flurries near or east of Regina this morning, and that'll continue to lift slowly to the north, and we'll see that light snow continuing over the next couple of days before it ramps up in the east as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. The reason it does that, got a big storm system digging in across the western United States right now. You see all the cloud cover developing out in advance of that as we see a lot of rising motion throughout the atmosphere, and that's going to lead to a lot of snow across this corridor over, again, the next 4 to 5, maybe 6 days as we deal with this slow-moving, very large storm system across the region. Now, here's the NAM model, the North American model, the snowfall forecast over the next 3.5 days, and you can just all play it out here, watch it continue to ramp up across the east, and now we'll take it through day by day, starting off with that light snow for the day on Monday. Again, slowly kind of lifting northeast out of the region, tapering off in most areas across Alberta and Saskatchewan as we get into the overnight. This would be now sunrise on Tuesday morning. Looking for some snow across southern portions of Alberta, maybe far southeastern Saskatchewan, maybe the Estevan, Weyburn area, maybe Regina seeing some flurries on Tuesday morning. The heavier snow in the Brandon and Winnipeg area. But then as we get into Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, getting into now Wednesday morning, we're starting to see that larger area of snow from the main winter storm lifting north into the region. The heaviest snow falls across the northern plains of the U.S. midweek, but we'll see some of that heavier snow start to nudge into at least southern portions of Manitoba and southeastern portions of Saskatchewan. Again, this is what it looks like, per the NAM model on Wednesday morning. This is now Wednesday night, and then taking it into Thursday morning, the snow continuing to lift into the region as the area of low pressure matures and then weakens and kind of spins down across the region. So this is the NAM model, the snowfall forecast between now and midday on Thursday. The heavier snow here across southern portions of Manitoba into southeastern Saskatchewan. That's where we're talking about seeing anywhere from 15 to 30 centimeters of snowfall here across this region. Would be a little bit lighter, a trace to maybe 10 centimeters. NAM on the left, European on the right, both of these taken through midday Thursday, knowing that snow is still likely falling across this region here midday on Thursday. But you can see those 15 to 30 centimeter totals, again, kind of in the maybe Weyburn over to Brandon, over toward Winnipeg is where I expect those heavier snowfall totals. And then we kind of add on the rest of the week. This takes us through the weekend. So now through December 19th, a lot of this, the snowstorm that happens here mid to late this week, and then as we get into the weekend, look for another series of systems to drop out of the northwest, bringing some lighter snowfall to portions of Alberta and western Saskatchewan. Maybe some areas across southern Alberta, southwestern Saskatchewan seeing those 15 to 30 centimeter totals, but I would otherwise expect kind of widespread 5 to 15 centimeter snowfall totals as we get into the end of the week. Looking at this from a probabilistic standpoint, using the ensemble model, here's your probability of 3 inches or more, and then the probability of 6 inches or more. This is through the next week from the European ensemble model. Again, the heaviest snow expected across really this region, southeastern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba, with the most significant corridor of snowfall across the northern plains of the U.S. North Dakota, South Dakota, parts of the northern high plains into Minnesota, expecting blizzard conditions and significant snowfall. And again, we're just kind of experiencing the northern tier of that storm across southeastern Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba. And then on the backside here, end of the week into the weekend, look for some shots of lighter snow coming out of the northwest across Alberta and western Saskatchewan. Really, the pattern's illustrated well here. We look at the jet stream pattern over the next 5 days. Big ridge to the west, big trough south of us, and then another ridge to the east. This is the big snowmaker, the one that's delivering the corridor of heavy snow, localized blizzard conditions, and then you see northwest flow coming out of the Arctic here. That's what delivers the shots of cold air, increasingly cold as we get into late week, and those shots of light snow coming from northwest to southeast across Alberta and western Saskatchewan as we get into the end of the week and the weekend. Again, flow coming out of the northwest. This is a very cold and kind of inefficiently snowy pattern. Again, very cold, frequent shots of light snow is what that pattern delivers. And we'll animate this through the end of December, and what we see is a big trough setting up across the east. You see this from kind of the Great Lakes, the Hudson Bay, into the southeastern United States with very fast jet stream flow east of that trough across this region. Now, as we get into the end of December, what that suggests to me is that the snowiest corridor is going to be here from maybe the Midwest U.S. into portions of the northeastern U.S. and far eastern Canada, with the Prairie really experiencing these shots of cold air with northwest flow in the jet stream coming out of the Arctic. So across the prairies, we get into the end of December, individual storm systems I'm not really able to pick up on. We have very low confidence in a complicated pattern as we get toward the final 5 days of December or so. But, at the bones of the pattern suggest it's going to be real cold, chances for some light snow across the region as we finish up December. Now here's your forecast over the next 10 days, your precipitation forecast. You see the storm off to the south. You see the Clipper systems coming out of the northwest. That really illustrates things quite well. Again, the heaviest snow across southeast Saskatchewan. Southern Manitoba falls midweek, probably Tuesday night, Wednesday, getting into Thursday, slowly tapering off as we enter the weekend. And then it's Friday and Saturday. I would kind of look for that light dose of snow across Alberta and western Saskatchewan. So here's your next 10 days. Again, a lot of this over the next 5. This comes in days 5 to 10. Very snowy as you make your way off to the east, with that deep area of low pressure developing here as we get into the end of December. I'm looking for an active storm track kind of right across this region and bitterly cold temperatures across this region. You'll see that here with the 5-day sliding animation of temperatures. Look at all of the cold air sliding into this region from western Canada into the Midwest. I'll be sharing this with you here as we get toward late December. Again, I'm recording this video from Illinois, about 1,000 miles away from you, but again, we'll share the same air mass as we get into the end of December. Look at these temperatures over the next 10 days. Again, on the chilly side through much of the week, but turning bitterly cold as we get into the weekend, into early next week. Those highs in the -20 range in Edmonton next week. Same story in Saskatoon, Regina, and unfortunately Winnipeg. This is a widespread cold air outbreak as we get into the last 10 days of December.